What's going on, people? It's the Bear here once again. So I just made one video about Odell Beckham Jr. coming to the Cleveland Browns. So I'm making another video on the NFL and what's happening. This was made 5 days ago. I didn't talk about it. I live in Buffalo. So, I figure I might as well do a video. I live in Buffalo. I'm a Patriots fan, but I live in Buffalo. So, we talk about the whole Antonio Brown and the Buffalo Bills trade and all. Let me first say something about Buffalo. Now, I might make a few Buffalo Bills fans mad and stuff like that, but I got to be honest. The Buffalo Bills don't keep superstar players for too long, especially people or players that want a big contract. The Bills rely too much on rookies. They're not going to go out of their way. Plus, the Bills is in the hole too. They're in the hole like 50. They're in the hole like 50 mil or something like that. Now I know that this season, most of that salary cap is going. They're going to get money again and all. But the Bills don't sign big time players for a lot of money without damn near emptying, all the superstars that they already have. They just don't do it. That's just how the Bills, that's how they've been for years. So even if you had this trade, it may have been a year, but you're going to see a lot of the other people that want a lot of money, you're going to see them gone. That's just, for some reason, that's just how the Bills, they rely on their rookies so they don't have to pay much. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been like that. It's been like that for years. That's the reason why the Bills don't never really go anywhere. So let me just read on to this here. Now I'm like I said, I'm not really bashing on the Bills, but when it comes to their finances and stuff, I just know how they do things. You know what I'm saying? And this is no exception. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have Antonio Brown. But just to think for a second, I mean, he would have been a pretty good fit. Josh Allen, he's up and coming. You know what I'm saying? And the Bills right now, they need a receiver. They need a receiver for a good while. They don't have nobody. So let me read on for a minute. If you got a good night's sleep, the Antonio Brown to Buffalo Bills trade was a dream that never happened. Yeah. That was something that a lot of Bills fans was really hoping for. It just never went through. And I already explained the reason why. Even if it could, a year, that's it. That's it. I don't even think Antonio Brown really even wanted to come to Buffalo. And if Antonio Brown was going to come to Buffalo, he would have wanted some kind of money that the Bills really could not give him, without getting rid of a lot of other good players. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get rid of all these other good players just to keep one good player? Does that make sense? I don't think so. Anyway, NFL Network insider Ian Rapoport reports that after intense talks that went into last night and almost agreeing on trade compensation, the Bills say they are out on the Brown trade per a source informed on the situation. The about face comes hours after the Steelers appeared close to a deal to ship the disgruntled wide receiver to Buffalo. We inquired about Antonio Brown on Tuesday and kept talks open with the Steelers. Bills GM Brandon Beane said in a statement, "We had positive discussions, but ultimately it didn't make sense for either side as great a player as Antonio Brown is, we have moved on, and our focus is on free agency, which they don't really get too many. I mean, they go into free agency, but they don't really get anybody that stands out. They really don't. That's just how the Bills do. I'm sorry. Especially when it comes to somebody that wants a lot of money. Rappaport noted that Brown would not commit to showing up in Buffalo, and the Bills decided a trade was not worth the drama of wondering if the receiver would accept the deal. You know, even if, like I said, even if he would accept the deal, it would definitely have to be that the money that he wanted, which the Bills would not. I don't even think the Bills will really. I mean, come on, man, come on. The Bills, Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the league. You know you're going to want somebody that the Bills. Anyway, let me just read a little bit more. Question about Brown's fit in Buffalo were fired off as soon as the first hint of the possibility came known. Would Brown play for a team perceived to be rebuilding? Would he fit with a growing strong arm but still largely inaccurate Josh Allen? That you got to take with a little grain of salt, because that being there. Because the reason why I say that is because Josh Allen, I could see if Josh Allen had a receiver, I think they would have did better than they did last year. You know what I'm saying? But because they didn't have a receiver, that's the reason why they're like right now, they're saying like Josh Allen is like he's a strong arm guy. He's growing, he's strong arm, but he's largely inaccurate. It's because you ain't got nobody to throw. You ain't got nobody to throw to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no good receivers. Will Mr. Big Chest demand a hearty raise to play in Western New York? Yes. He's going to want some money that the Bills really could not afford without doing some drastic changes. Okay? You can read on the rest. Well, let's read on. These questions will be left floating into the stereo abyss. The Bills bowing out on the Antonio Brown sweepstakes leaves few options for the Steelers in an effort to equate to the wideouts trade desires. After the receiver needy Bills walked away from the AB drama, might it finally signal the time for Brown and the Steelers to work toward a reconciliation that would keep the receiver in Pittsburgh another season? And then kind of find out that he went to the Raiders. He got traded to the Raiders. I don't think he wanted to play for, because God, I hate to really say this about the Bills, but I gotta say a little bit more. The Bills had a chance to do something in the playoffs. When they went to the wild card that one year, because of the Bengals, by the way, they only scored 3 points. And that was when they had Tyrod Taylor. Okay? I don't even know when the last time the Bills will make the playoffs again. Now, Josh Allen is a decent quarterback. He's not Baker Mayfield, but he's a pretty decent quarterback. But the Bills need a wide receiver. They're going to go into the free agency and get what they can, but it's just Antonio Brown will want way too much money. Because if he would ever came to the Bills, it would have been only because of the money, but I don't think he would really want to play for the Bills. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's because of the money, that's the reason why I'm here. But other than that, I would have passed on him, you know. And that's how it is in the NFL. Some teams are put in other teams that they don't really want to play for. But because the money is right, I'll give them a shot. You know what I'm saying? And if the Bills would have ever gotten Antonio Brown, it would have been only for a year. It would have been no longer than that. Because they can't afford to keep him for 5 years or something like that. The Bills just can't do it. You know? I'm sorry. So, anyway, that's enough about that. And, yeah, the Bills are going to have to go into free agency. And they're probably most likely going to be looking towards the draft to find another receiver, like they always do. That's just how the Bills organize. So, and that's why they get where they at every season. You need good teams. You need, you need good players, but you rely too much on rookies. And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with rookies, but when you got somebody like Antonio Brown, you want to keep him happy. You know what I'm saying? Would he been a good fit for Buffalo? I don't know. But I don't think he wanted to play anyway. I really just don't. So, that's what it is. It's the Bear, and I'm out. Peace.